Millions of children in the United States have food allergies, and ARS Pharmaceuticals says more than 2 million likely experience a severe reaction at some point. Now that we're in the midst of summer break, it's the perfect time for parents to talk with their healthcare providers about options ahead of the new school year. Neffy is the only FDA-approved needle-free epinephrine nasal spray for emergency allergic reactions, and it's now available at a lower dosage. Allergy and immunology expert Dr. Nicole Chase is here to discuss. Doctor, what are the causes of allergic reactions?
Hi there. Thanks so much for having me. So when we think about allergic reactions, whether it be in children or adults, we're really thinking about reactions most commonly to foods, insect stings, medications. And, the hard part with food and medication and venom allergies is that we never know when the reaction is going to be severe. So as a result, we really try and prepare patients, parents, caregivers to always administer epinephrine at the first sign of symptoms of an allergic reaction, not only to treat the symptoms, but also to stop progression. And as you mentioned, there typically has been this association with some type of delay or even no treatment. And we've found that a lot of this relates to the fact that the treatment options for these patients are typically injection-based. So they contain a needle where you have to actually jab it into their muscle to deliver the medication. And that's why I'm particularly excited to be here today to talk with you about Neffy, which is actually a needle-free treatment option. It's an epinephrine nasal spray for treating those allergic emergencies, including anaphylaxis.
What is the day-to-day impact of severe allergies on young children and their families?
Yeah, it's a lot having to deal with severe allergies, whether that means every time you sit down to a meal, being cautious about whether it contains the allergen that you're allergic to, whether it's being outdoors, let's say gardening, where we know that insects are flying around. It really just causes an extra burden. And having this concept of having to potentially jab yourself with a needle if you're having a reaction causes a lot of anxiety for everyone involved. And so this is where this idea of if you could just use epinephrine in a nasal spray delivery form, it would be potentially a lot easier for everyone to kind of get around this idea and actually go ahead and administer the medication. And this is where Neffy comes in. It was FDA approved last August for children and adults. Now with this spring, children and adults 4 years of age and older, 33 pounds or greater, actually can use Neffy. There's 2 different strengths that are based on weight. It's very, very small, so actually will fit into your pocket, pocketbook, backpack. Nice things about it are that not only is it very simple to administer, we have patients as young as 10 years of age that can deliver it, but also it can withstand temperatures as high as 122 degrees Fahrenheit, has an expiration date typically between 24 to 30 months. And the most common side effects are very mild in nature. So what's been reported is nasal discomfort, headache, and runny nose. So a really nice option for people to be aware of if they don't feel comfortable using an auto injector.
Do you have any tips for navigating summer break and preparing for back to school with severe allergies?
Well, the word you use, prepare, is key. We encourage everyone to make an annual follow-up appointment with their allergy specialist to review the prior year, make certain we know what your actual allergens are and what we should be avoiding, to go over any action plans, discussing when you'd actually want to use emergency treatment, and then really to kind of update the patient's weight and decide what type of epinephrine delivery device is best for them. This would be an opportunity where patients who maybe had expressed some anxiety or fear about a needle-based device could actually then request a prescription for Neffy. This is overall something that my patients have been very interested in. And even sometimes before I can actually get to talking about it with them, they actually bring it up to me in office asking, hey, have you heard about this new nasal spray? They're very curious to learn more, especially for adult patients, but also frequently for parents of younger children.
Where can our viewers go to learn more about Neffy?
So I would say your allergy specialist is an excellent resource to start with. In the meantime, before you get in for that annual visit, you can learn more by visiting the website for Neffy, which is just neffy.com. It's Neffy.
Doctor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You heard Dr. Chase. To learn more, all you have to do is head to neffy.com.